You're one of the longest tenured fighters in Bellator, and you've been a part of a lot of big events. Where do you think this one stacks up? Does this have the big event feels for you?
Yeah, it's just the tournament finale. I'm here. I fought both guys. I'm excited to be on this card. It's a stacked card. I have a tough opponent, so yeah, I feel excited.
We're going to talk about your fight, but weigh in on that since you brought it up. You and Pat Karn, I think, are the only two guys to have been in there with both men. So give me a little bit of analysis. Who do you think wins, and kind of break it down?
Well, I think my fight with AJ wasn't long enough, so I don't consider it as a fight. But with Patricio, I've been in there with them almost 15 minutes. If AJ wins, it's going to be fast. It's like TKO or KO. But if he goes after over second, third round, I'm picking Patricio. And he's very experienced, and yeah, it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And your fight, let's talk about it a little bit. You've done well against Irish fighters in the past. You kind of like that they paired you up with another one?
Yeah. I have Kiefer Crosbie. Before this, I fought Paul Redmond in Ireland. So there's another Irish guy in my list. It's Peter Quilley. So I don't know if he's going to get that rematch with Patricky, but I would like to fight him. I know there's going to be a lot of shows in Europe, so I don't mind traveling to their home country and fighting him.
What do you like about that fight?
Me against Peter Quilley. He's a great fighter. I think we match up really good against each other, and he's a ranked opponent. So yeah, those are the ones I want.
Hey, Georgie, right here. It's been a while since Bellator has been in front of a crowd that's going to be as big as you're going to have on Saturday. Is the mood different knowing that it's going to be the first time in a while that the fans are going to be out in force cheering for all the action? Fuck
yeah. I fought in Connecticut twice, and me as a fighter, it doesn't matter, but it does excite you when you throw a couple of punches, the fans make noise, so it's exciting,
I know you're a SoCal guy. Do you have a lot of people who are going to be coming out for the fight?
I do. I have. It's going to be a lot of people coming. So I don't know the amount of people are going to come, but I have good support here.
Thank you.
Georgie, being such a tenured fighter, how do you intend on keeping that momentum going through this fight?
Being a what fighter?
Just being the longevity you have with Bellator.
Just use my experience. I'm a vet. This is my 18th fight with Bellator. I have over 40 professional fights. It's up to me where I take the fight. This matchup with Kiefer is perfect. It's a perfect matchup. He has 10 fights total. I should be able to take this anywhere I want. And Saturday night comes, I'm going to do that.
Very nice.
Good morning, Georgie. How are you?
Good morning, brother.
Nice to see you. You look
Nice
very well indeed. Very handsome. Presumably, given Kiefer's last performances, he had a very tough night in Milan against Charlie, didn't he?
Charlie Leroy.
Yeah. Where he got overwhelmed early on and couldn't recover. Presumably, the ground in this fight is you are so far superior in the ground game that you can take it there really and finish it early if you want to.
That's true, but I would like to keep it standing.
Give us a fucking war, yeah?
Yeah. He comes forward, I come forward. I think that fight with Charlie Leroy was a great fight. If he didn't hit that cut, I think that stopped. But it was a great fight. It just the difference with me is if I smell him getting tired, I'm for sure going for a kill. And that's me as a vet. I seen those. So if I smell that, it's over.
Would you like to come to, they've announced October the 1st in London. Yeah, you're nodding. With MVP and Douglas Lehman. We'd love to have you over there. Are you thinking that you'd like to get on the London card?
Yeah, I would like to be on a London card. I fought in Ireland, man. The crowd was crazy. So I know in London, actually there's a kid, Alfie Davies, call me dwarf head, big head. And I do have a big head, but I think that would be a good matchup too against him. So yeah.
So you'll be calling out Alfie Davis for London if you get the victory on Saturday night, yeah?
Sure, 100%.
Lovely,
let's make that happen.
Great to see you.
I've got a different question for you. The news right now in sports is Simone Biles withdrawing from the Olympics due to mental health issues. I'm curious, as a professional athlete, what are your thoughts on that? Is that something you've ever felt? Is do you understand why she did that, or have you even heard about it?
I did hear about it, and Team Grover, he was Michael Jordan's coach. He posted something really interesting that I kind of support his opinion about Simone Biles. I personally don't know what happened to her, but in my opinion, if you won 6 gold medals, nothing should bother you. You should have just, I don't know why she went over there. She could have given that spot to someone else, but that's just my opinion. And a lot of people are protecting her decision, but to me, that's bullshit. It's like me, the sport is very stressful. You gotta fucking deal with that, especially in the Olympics. So for her to come out and talk like that, just, I don't take it the right way.
Thank you.
Georgie, a lot of guys had a long layoff due to COVID. However, you did have those 2 fights during that period. So what made you decide to stay active, and how do you think that benefited you?
Just not let anything bother you, just the news puts a lot of bullshit out there, especially with the COVID stuff. Just fight, it's last year was a great year. I was busy. I fought 3 times, and it was just one of those experiences. I wanted to fight with no crowd. I wanted to fight with going through testing. I wanted to fight being stuck in a hotel room, and it was just like a jail. Just doing a lot of burpees and stuff like that, but it was good times.
And now, obviously, we already mentioned the fact that we're gonna have crowds, but you had the experience fighting without crowds. So now, is there anything from that you kind of might miss heading into this fight with an actual audience, or do you just like, no, I got to get into this with the people?
I guess the only thing I'll miss is hearing my opponent's coaches, because that's what I would do a lot. So whatever they would tell my opponent, I would do it to my opponent. But now with the crowd, it might be a little hard, but it doesn't matter. It's the same mission. Whoever's in front of me, I'm there to kill him.
And my last question is, somebody already mentioned the fact that, this is definitely not your first rodeo. You have lots of years underneath your belt. So with that being said, what keeps you motivated and moving forward to continue, fighting in your career and all of that?
Just the hunger, when you have a fighter that's hungry, it's a scary thing, For example, like TJ hasn't fought in 2 years, and he still has the hunger. He came and destroyed a guy. But I have a very, very strong hunger. It's not like, this is what I do for a living. I have kids, but it's just something within me. I have a strong hunger and desire to knock people out. And as long as I have that, I'm going to keep fighting.
Thank you, Georgie.
All right. Thanks for the time, Georgie.
Thank you.
The recording has stopped.
Up next is Chris Gonzalez.
This meeting is being recorded.
All right, we are now being joined by Chris Gonzalez.
Chris, first off from me, you wanted a ranked opponent after your last fight, and here you are. You got the number 5 guy. Is this the type of matchup that you were looking for?
Yeah, definitely. Goiti's definitely been someone who's been on my radar since I joined the organization. So I'm glad that, I got this matchup, and I look forward to going out there and, asserting myself in the top 5.
You had said that you wanted to fight Roger Huerta last fight because you thought it would help build your recognition, but as of right now, you're not ranked yourself. So do you feel like, again, this is just an opportunity for you to kind of build your name and get on people's radars? You've only had, this will be your 7th pro fight.
Yeah, I think the rankings are kind of shit. to be honest, at the end of the day, you got to fight all these guys anyway. The only person that matters on that list is the champion. So as long as I keep winning, everything else will play itself out.
And the matchup itself, can you break it down for me a little bit? He's a good grappler, you're a good wrestler. Do you think it's that simple, or is there more to this matchup?
Yeah, I mean, it's mixed martial arts, right? I'm more than a wrestler. He's more than a high-level jiu-jitsu guy. I think, I know the fight's going to start on the feet, and then from there, I'll kind of get to decide where it goes. I have my game plan. I'm sure he has his. It'll just come down to who executes theirs better.
And I see you're repping Team USA up there. Any regrets, any itches that, I know you pivoted from the Olympic trials and decided to do MMA instead. Any regrets on that front?
Yeah, no regrets, man. I'm in a great position. I'm blessed to be where I'm at. I just rocked the sweater to show support for all my friends that are out there at the Olympic Games trying to do their thing out there and bring home the gold for us. So, good luck to everyone out there. I wish them nothing but the best. We'll be competing, right around the same time. So hopefully I can get the job done and represent for them as well.
Hey, Chris. I noticed there are quite a few lightweights on the undercard. Obviously, the champion of your division is fighting at the top of it. He's been at 145 for a minute now. Do you feel like there's a little bit more of a spotlight to let him know on Saturday that, hey, he's still got business up at 155?
Yeah, he's been in this featherweight tournament for, I think, a little bit over a year. So there's kind of been some stagnation in the lightweight division. We'll see how this matchup with McKee plays out. I wish both of them nothing but success. But after he handles his business and I handle mine this weekend, then, I hope he's ready to have a quick turnaround, because I'm definitely looking to be contending for that belt pretty soon here.
Do you think that he gets the job done against AJ?
What was that? I'm sorry.
Do you think he wins the fight with AJ?
Yeah, I don't know. It's another one of those things where they both are more than capable of winning. It's just going to come down to who executes their game plan better. They can both win, and I think AJ has more ways to win. I think Pitbull's going to have to knock him out if he is to pull it off. AJ's long, so if he can keep his distance and keep him at range, maybe tire him out in the first and second round, he can take away some of that zap on his punches, and I think he can get it done.
My final question. Obviously, there's going to be quite the crowd in Los Angeles for this fight. What are your thoughts on fighting in front of the fans in this capacity again?
Yeah, no, I'm super excited about it. So I was actually supposed to have my debut here at the Forum when I was supposed to debut with Bellator, but my opponent actually backed out the day before weigh-ins. Bellator was kind enough to still fly me out so I could get that experience and, spend time with all my friends and family who had gotten flights and tickets to the event. But yeah, no, I'm just looking forward to having the crowd back and putting on the show I didn't get to put on for them when I was supposed to the first go around.
You're wearing a Team USA sweatshirt, so I got to ask you about Simone Biles. Obviously that's the big news right now, her pulling out due to mental health issues. I'm curious if that's ever been something you've dealt with, or if you can relate, or what your thoughts are on the reason for her pulling out.
We good?
Sounds like there might be an Amber Alert. Not funny, but
yeah, no. You gotta commend her. It takes a really strong-minded person. No pun intended. Obviously, talking about mental health, but I think you got to be pretty strong-minded to, just address the world and let them know that you're going through something that's bigger than yourself or bigger than the moment. And there's not many moments that are bigger than the Olympics. And for her to just honor and recognize that speaks volumes on what she's capable of mentally. There's not a lot of people who would have done that. I think she actually probably did the right thing. She gave someone else an opportunity that she may not have been able to perform to the best of her abilities. As far as personally, I think we all go through stuff mentally. I'd be lying if I said I've never struggled with anything mentally or physically for that matter. But it's just about how you respond. You just got to keep on going, put one foot in front of the next, and everything will play itself out the way it should.
Chris, talk to me a little bit about what this fight means to you.
Yeah, it's just another fight, right? I just want to go out there, put on an exciting performance for the fans, and show Bellator that I'm capable of these fights. I've been asking for bigger name fights and stuff that's going to propel me to title contention. So this fight means a lot. At the end of the day, I got a job to do, and I'm just going to go out there and get it done.
How do you feel you match up against your opponent?
Really well. I think I match up really well against all these guys. Being a high-level wrestler, I think I dictate where the fight goes. So that's an advantageous thing for myself. I can see myself winning this fight in a variety of different ways. So I think I match up really well.
Hey, Chris, I was going to ask you, with your wrestling ability and his jiu-jitsu, obviously, is it going to cancel each other out? Are you guys going to bang? Are you going to catch him in transitions? I don't want you to give away the game plan, but how are you going to stop that body triangle? And he's obviously going for your neck.
Yeah, if you want to body triangle me, go for it. You're just kind of locking me up into a dominant position, in my opinion, and just allows me to do what I want to do, which is get off my ground and pound. I think the biggest thing is just not letting him get one or two moves ahead on the bottom. Just whenever we create some space, take that away and just stick to the game plan.
Great. And sorry, back to the mental health issues. How have martial arts and wrestling, and how's that gotten you through the tough times? Especially with COVID this last year, it's been hard on everybody financially. The fight game's been impacted, huge. A lot of gyms have closed. A lot of, every jiu-jitsu gym you go to these days is got paper in the windows. They're just kind of letting people in the back door. What's gotten you through it?
Yeah, I grew up just going through adversity, just growing up the way I was brought up, growing up in Chicago, the South Side. It's, there was never an easy day, and sports honestly just kept me sane. So I don't really know what I would do if I didn't have this. So it's always been my outlet. I was fortunate enough to be one of those fighters who was still able to get a couple fights in last year, even with everything going on. So I think that helped with my mental sanity. But yeah, just staying focused and remembering that, you have that end goal, and just continuing to focus and work towards that just keeps me pretty level-headed.
Chris, hi. So as a world-class wrestler, I kind of want to get a grasp on how that transition has been like for you, from going to wrestler, to fighter, essentially. What has that transition been like?
Yeah, it's been really smooth. Obviously, the fight starts on your feet, but being a Greco-Roman guy, it's a very similar stance. Your hands are just going to be a little more busy. So it's made everything really easy. I get to dictate where the fight goes, which allowed me to develop, my stand-up game and my jiu-jitsu game, and kind of hid my deficiencies for a little bit. I feel like I'm a really, really well-rounded fighter at this point. So now I'll get to display some new tricks.
Were there any challenges that you kind of found along the way?
Yeah, there's a ton of challenges, right? When you come from having so much success as a wrestler, and then you have to learn so many different disciplines, you just got to have that white belt mentality, which is something I always have, even as a wrestler. You can learn something from everyone. But it's just being patient, trusting the process, and believing in your coaches.
Thank you, Chris.
Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks for the time, Chris. Good luck on Saturday.
Appreciate you guys.
The recording has stopped.
Next up is Brian Moore.
This meeting is being recorded.
We are now being joined by Brian Moore.
Brian, first fight of 2021. So just kind of a relief to be here. Finally, you know, in the week you're going to be competing again.
Yeah, with everything that's been going on in the world, it's great to be here on fight week, ready and raring to go. But this is my second trip back to the States, and even though I'm on a win streak at the minute, I feel like there's redemption here for myself, because the last time I came stateside, everything was going so smooth. But I ended up breaking my two hands in that fight and ended up losing a decision. It's one that I still think should have been a draw, because I dropped the guy like 4 times. But so I'm just so excited to be back to make amends here in the States.
Yeah, and I know nothing's, like you said, in the state of the world, nothing's guaranteed when you put your name on the dotted line. You had 3 opponents pull out since you've been stateside. I mean, is that a crazy camp to try to prepare for?
Yeah, when you look at the stylistic approach of my scheduled opponent in Scoggins, it's very different than the man I'm fighting on Saturday. But I came here to fight. This is not my first time fighting someone on short notice, but I will tell you that I've never been more prepared in my life. So you could put anybody in on Saturday night. You could take the champ and put him there on Saturday night, and I'm going to go through him.
And that level of preparation, I mean, did you make changes? Was there tweaks? Like, what do you attribute having such a great camp to?
The preparation, the diligence, the determination that I came into this camp with. You know, I put it on a different level. My sparring partners were amazing, but I had to get a fresh man every round for this one. They could not keep up with what I brought. That's no disrespect or anything that way, but I just feel like I've hit a different level. So like I said, it doesn't matter here on Saturday night. It's Brian Moore that's performing, and other than that, I don't really care.
Hey Brian, I was wondering, how does that long trip across the ocean affect your fight week routine? Because they tend to schedule you obviously in Europe. So what is it like being so far from home and doing everything that's involved for a fight?
I don't mind it. I just try to take everything, you know, minute by minute. I kind of try to enjoy the process. You know, I've got a very busy and extremely lucky, grateful life, but it's 24/7, go, go, go. So it was nice to look at 2 movies on the flight on the way over, that kind of way. But the only thing that affected my preparations I got here is as I landed in the hotel, I found out that my opponent had pulled out. So, you know, then I just started kind of trying to get a fight sorted. But once that was done, then I was sleeping nice and good food, and also we're all good.
What movies did you watch on the flight?
I watched Talladega Nights, which I haven't seen in a long time, but it's a classic. It's so good. I forgot how good it was. And actually watched a Tiger Woods documentary too. I like my golf.
There you go, Ricky Bobby. Another question, going to be the first time with a lot of fans in attendance here in the United States. Just what are your thoughts on knowing you're going to have that crowd and the noise and the energy when you compete this Saturday?
I cannot wait. I absolutely cannot wait. My last fight was a beautiful knockout, but it took me a little while to get going. The fans in attendance will have me coming out straight off the bat. I know that. I always get amped up with fights, with fans in attendance. I started this sport at 21 years of age, so I was a fan first. So it's important for me that fans love my fights, and they do. You know, so I always get cheered on my way in, but I always get double that noise on the way out.
Finally, you have Jordan Winsky now. From what you've seen in the short time, just what are your thoughts on his game and what he brings as an opponent?
Jordan is well-rounded. He comes in with a good record, has beaten good guys. I shook his hand earlier on. I said, you have my respect for stepping on a short notice. It's not for everybody. I've done it plenty of times myself. But I said we're going to go at it on Saturday night nonetheless. But I respect the man. I think he has a good skill set, and I'm excited to put my skill set against his.
I'm going to change the subject a little bit here. I've been asking all the fighters about the big sports news right now is about Simone Biles withdrawing from the Olympics due to mental health issues. I'm curious if you know about that and if you've ever experienced that, or what you think as a professional athlete withdrawing from competition, especially something as big as the Olympics, due to mental health issues.
Yeah, it's an absolute. It's a shame, but it's also a pandemic in itself, mental health issues, you know what I mean? And I think it's something that should be looked at a lot closer, not just in sports, but in every sector. But as competitors, we I suppose we can try and put on a brave face, but often it's not the truth, you know what I mean? And you know, I think everybody to a certain extent will struggle, you know, and I suppose just by opening up and being honest, it will help a long way.
Thank you.
Brian, you mentioned earlier breaking both of your hands. How does that affect your approach and your focus coming into this fight?
My boxing has become so much neater, as you'll see, as you've noticed. I'm far more accurate, but I've got more power than all these guys. But the reason being is when you're casted up for 4 months at a time, and then I was casted up again after re-breaking, you know, you put a lot of attention into the accuracy of your shots, and that's why I'm dropping these guys so often. While before I was swinging, you know what I mean. But now it's a lot more accurate, and you know the preparation that I put in is always so focused. And you know, I wanted to make sure that never happens again. So I became as neat and as efficient a striker as I possibly could be.
All right. Thanks for the time, Brian. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
The recording has stopped.
Next up, Kiefer Crosbie.
feeling? Famous question. Hungry.
This meeting is being recorded.
All right, we are now being joined by Kiefer Crosbie.
What's up, everybody?
Kiefer, you already told us how you're feeling. You're feeling hungry. What is the hunger? You trying to get back in the win column, trying to compete again?
I was talking about pizza. I'm fucking starving. Yeah, no, I am trying to get back in the win column. The last fight wasn't a loss. It was a no contest, in my opinion. I didn't lose that fight. So, I mean, I haven't really been beaten in a professional fight. So I'm just looking forward to winning again, to be honest. Hopefully you don't get any little cuts that the doctor is going to stop this time. But this time I'm not going to get touched, I don't think so. I'm looking forward to just getting in there and getting the job done, yeah.
And you're repping your home country there, but I know you did most of your camp here in the United States, right? Can you talk about that move?
No, I didn't. I came here only 2 weeks ago, to be honest. I went to Connor's fight, and then I floated up to Kansas to my friend James Gallagher, and then did a bit of training with James Krause and his boys up in Glory. It was a great gym, great people, and but I don't do camps per se, you know what I mean? I just do a bit of training. And then when I organise a fight, I ramp it up. But majority of me training is in Ireland, to be honest. I've been training, for years in Ireland, and the past 8 months in Ireland. I'm only here 2 weeks, so majority of the camp has been in Ireland.
Gotcha. And, those 2 weeks that you were here, though, is that a tough mental adjustment to be away from home and kind of be, in a different place with different people, stuff like that?
Yeah, kind of. Like, do you know what I mean? Obviously, I have a girlfriend and kids at home, and I'm missing them terrible, do you know what I mean? But I'm in military mode at the minute, you know what I mean? I've been looking up a lot of, like documentaries on the military and soldiers and how they go abroad and fight wars on end. And when you see these videos of soldiers coming back into the airport, you know what I mean? They see their kids for the first time in fucking a year and a half, you know what I mean? 12 months after fighting wars. It's crazy to look at that, you know what I mean? And we're lucky that we don't have to do that, you know what I mean? That's intense. They're going halfway across the world and they're in the trenches fighting actual wars and leaving their family at home, but they're fighting them wars for their family. And I feel like I'm doing the same over here. I had to come off to America early, focus on myself, be selfish, you know what I mean? And just knuckle down, and nothing else matters other than the gym and my rest. And that's what that's the frame of mind I kind of tapped into for the past few weeks, to be honest. You know what I mean? I put the head down, nothing else matters but this fight. I got into focus mode. I had to make them sacrifices, and I feel like this is the best version of me, because at home and there's fucking babies hanging out, and you know what I mean? Yeah, doing things with the kids, it's great, but it's energy consuming, you know what I mean? So for the past 3 weeks or so, I've literally just been selfish, you know what I mean? I've just been going to the gym, going home and resting, napping, fucking nap. I haven't had a nap ever in my life, you know what I mean? I don't know myself now, having all these naps and getting good night's sleeps and waking up the next day feeling energized to go back to the gym, training, you know what I mean? And I think you'll see a big difference on Saturday night. I'm well primed and rested and ready to fight.
Hey, Kiefer, right here. This might be a bit of an odd question, but is there a particular difference between fighting in front of an American crowd compared to a European one?
No, I don't care, to be honest. You can put me in a bleeding car park and I'll fight, you know what I mean? I don't care. It only really matters to the fans, I think, you know what I mean? When they're, like, there's no crowd in the world like an Irish crowd, you know what I mean? And if you can fight in there, you can fight anywhere. That's the mecca in my eyes of fighting, you know what I mean? When you go into the Trey Arena on fight night and it's packed out and we're fighting on the card, there's nothing like it. So I am, like, this is great. I was only talking to someone a minute ago about the Forum Arena. It's such an iconic arena. I was only looking at The Last Dance the other night with Michael Jordan. And through the documentary, the Forum came on it, and he was playing the LA Lakers in like a big final of a basketball game. And I was like, fuck, it just hit me. I was like, I'm fighting here in 4 days. That's mad, you know what I mean? So it's an iconic arena, and I'm very proud that I'm actually getting out to come out here and represent my country and fight in such an iconic place. And there's going to be 18,000 people, and it's going to be mental, but at the end of the day, when you step into that cage, I don't give a shit who's outside that cage. My only concern is the man in front of me, and it doesn't really matter. It's all just noise at the end of the day, and noise doesn't come into competition. Do you know what I mean? Outside noise is just outside noise. Booing, cheering, supporting, doesn't matter. You know what I mean? My goal is to win a fight. And there's only one man that I'm interested in beating. That's the man in front of me. I don't care about anyone else outside that cage, you know what I mean? Until afterwards, and then I can party with everyone. But for the 15 minutes, it's going to be focused on him, and that's it. So it doesn't really matter where it is, you know what I mean?
When you're up against a veteran like Georgie, where do you even begin in terms of like studying his game, watching the tape and everything? Because there's obviously a lot of footage out there on him already.
Haven't watched one bit of footage. I haven't watched any, to be honest.
What do your coaches let you know about him?
They just focus on me. They know me too well. I've been in this situation so many times that I've had pullouts, I've had changes of opponents, I've had last minute pullouts, I've weighed in and then the opponent has changed. I've been here, so I've realised over my experience on my career that like anything can happen. You know what I mean? He could pull out today, and then what? I'm after studying him for fucking 10 weeks and focused on him, and sparring partners were to replicate him, and now I'm fighting a 6'2" southpaw Thai boxer or something. I don't give a shit, to be honest. You know what I mean? He can do whatever he wants to do. I'm focused on me, and that's it. And I believe that's all it is self-defense. If I'm walking down the street and someone attacks me, I'm not going to say, wait, hold on, are you a black belt in jiu-jitsu, or are you southpaw? Can you give me a few minutes to study a tape? No, I'm going to fight. I'm going to defend myself. I'm going to knock him out. So that's my mentality going into these fights. Do you know what I'm saying? And I carry that with pride. I think people get too caught up in the opponent and this and that. The only thing that like stands out in my mind is people keep saying his experience, and he's had so many fights, and the more experience equals the more damage. You know what I mean? I'm fresh. I've never been hit. I've been hit a little bit. I've never been hurt per se. I've never been knocked out in the gym or in a fight. I'm coming in here fresh as a daisy, ready to go. I don't give a fuck who it is, to be honest.
Finally, for me, very important question. What kind of pizza are you looking forward to eating after the
All
fight?
of the pizza. Oh man, there's more than pizza on my mind. You know what I mean? LA it seems like a good spot for a bit of food. So, you know what I mean? I can't wait to just get out and go on the munch after this fight. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, Z pizza. Nice. I'm dying for a bit of grub, yeah.
So I've been asking all the fighters their opinion about the big sports news right now is Simone Biles withdrawing from the Olympics due to mental health issues. I'm not sure if you heard about it or if you have any thoughts on that, or if you've ever experienced that kind of issue yourself.
I hope she's okay, and everyone should too. I think it's ridiculous how just because somebody has a name for themselves that people think they can slander somebody or put them on blast like that. It's ridiculous. And people should have a little bit more compassion, especially for people in this sport. I don't think people even fucking realise how difficult it is to get into the position she's in or the position we're in. And if you have mental health issues and people actually have, you know what I mean, what's in them to go on to the likes of social media and slander somebody and put them down and say negative things, well, fuck them people. Do you know what I mean? That's ridiculous. And that goes across the board, not just for her, but anyone in that situation. Mental health should be taken serious. And it should be nearly a thing that, if you write something negative about someone with mental health issues online, you should be banned completely. Your device should be shut down. You know what I mean? But fuck them people. Do you know what I mean? They're not nice people. They're not real people. They're just fucking, they have more problems than you have, you know what I mean? Writing shit like that. So I hope she's okay, and anyone with mental health issues, you know what I mean? I hope they're okay. And it's hard. Listen, sport's hard. And when you get to the highest level, you don't even realise how difficult it is. Do you get me? So, I mean, it's a weird one, yeah? We live in a weird time with all this social media shit. People think that what they say is so important and relevant. It's not, you know what I mean? It's just ridiculous, man. I hate seeing shit like that, but it is what it is, I suppose. Nothing you can do.
Thank you.
With a crowd of about 18,000 people here in Los Angeles, California, how do you feel that changes the energy and pace of this fight?
It won't change the fight whatsoever, but it's going to be nice to actually, look, the year we're at having, yeah, with this corona shit, you know what I mean? It's been crazy. And a few months ago we couldn't even walk into a supermarket without people not being, wanting to touch you and shit. Now it's going to be 18,000 people drunk, having fun, buzzing, you know what I mean? So from that to this is crazy. And I mean, I'm in America now where things are a little bit more loose and relaxed. Back in my hometown, my country of Ireland, shit has gone crazy again. You know what I mean? The government, you can't walk indoors now without a vaccine passport and all this bullshit. And again, I think that's ridiculous. All of this stuff is ridiculous. You should give people a choice in the matter. Do you know what I mean? Our eyes are open. You shouldn't be forced to take no vaccine or anything like this. If you want to take it, you take it. That's fine. But if you don't, that's fine also. Open the place back up. Let's get back to normality. An actual bit of normality would be nice. Do you know what I mean? Open shit back up. This is ridiculous at this stage. It's like, I mean, I'm literally about to fight in front of 18,000 people. And then I have to go back to Ireland and I can't go to a restaurant with my family. You know what I'm saying? I have to sit outdoors where Ireland's fucking raining and shit. It's just ridiculous, man. The government in our country is corrupt, and it's not even a government. It's like a fucking organisation. It's like a business, and they're running it into the ground. And it's a shame, to be honest, because I love my country. Yeah, I love Ireland with all my heart. And it's a shame to see how it's going. And hopefully it can be resolved and we'll get back to normality and get this shit behind us. Do you know what I mean? Because it's getting dragged out now to bits.
Hey, you say you stay ready. You said you don't have a fight camp, really. You don't know much about your opponent. Is that why you're able to beat people in so many different ways? You have elbows, you have punches, submissions.
Yeah.
Is that why you're able to just change it up on the spot instead of being tunnel vision on sort of a game plan?
Yeah, like, in my opinion, you have to be. You know what I mean? This is not like, the back in the day where you're just a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt and that's it. You know what I mean? You go in there and that's your antidote to that, try to take them down, try to break their arm, and that's it. You have to be well versed in all of the skills. You can't just go in here and be a one-trick pony. You know what I mean? I'm not a kickboxer, I'm not a grappler, I'm not a wrestler, I'm a mixed martial artist, and I pride myself in that. And the work I put in is serious, you know what I mean? And I pride myself in that also. I'm a student of the game forever. I've been studying for years and I've been practicing for years, and I'm asked the most amount of questions in the room when I'm in the room. I'm there early, I leave late. I'm always looking for hard rounds, I'm always trying to just get better and better at everything. So when you're put in a situation in a fight, you have to be able to fight everywhere. You can't just fight one place. So as I said, it's basically a matter of practicing self-defense under the bright lights. We call it a fight, but it's just basically martial arts to me. And I believe that I've ticked all the boxes. I know how to fight everywhere. And that's the way I did. As I said, it's no offense to any of my opponents. I just don't care, to be honest. I really don't. I think people get too focused on the opponent, and really they should put all the focus on themselves. You know what I mean? And that's just my mindset. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, I don't know. But I haven't been beaten in a professional bout yet, so I must be doing something right.
For those American fans that are not familiar just yet with you and your work, what do you want to show the American audience about the kind of fighter that you are?
Excellent martial arts. That's what I want to, I want to go down in history as one of the best fighters of all time. You know what I mean? Someone asked me about belts and shit like that. I don't give a shit about belts or anything like that. That's all, diamonds and noise and shit. I don't care. I just want to be one of the best. 50 years from now, I want people to be looking back at my fights being like, he was one of the best. I find myself looking at, Muhammad Ali highlights on YouTube, and you know what I mean? Like, I was looking at Pernell Whitaker the other day on YouTube, and I was looking at all these old school fighters, and I'm still in awe of how great they were. Do you know what I mean? I was looking at Prince Nazim Hamed, remember him? You know what I mean? Roy Jones, I was looking at all these crazy highlights and just being like, well, that's forever. And I don't know how many wins and losses they've had. I don't know how many belts they won. I don't care about all that. I just want to watch excellent fighting. You know what I mean? And when I watch it, I'm like, wow, they are like some of the best fighters of all time. And I look at Royce Gracie, you know what I mean? In the first UFC, I look at that and I'm like, fuck, that's forever. Do you know what I mean? No one knows what his record is or cares. It doesn't matter what his record is. You look at that and you're just fucking in awe of what he's done and how he's done it, and you know what I mean? The fights, and that's my mindset in this. You know what I mean? I want to just keep competing, keep fighting, rack them all up, because at the end of the day, it's not going to last forever. You know what I mean? It's going to be over one day for all of us. You know what I mean? Life is short, so you have to just go out there and do it and put the work in. And hopefully when I'm retired and I'm old and I'm fat and I'm fucking sitting there with my feet up, I can be actually happy that I've done what I said I wanted to do and be one of the best fighters. You know what I mean? Definitely one of the most exciting. I'm only 10 fights in and I'm one of the most exciting fighters already. I'm only 10 fights in. This bloke has 4 times the amount of fights than I have, and I'm a bigger name than he is, and I'm far more exciting than anyone. You know what I mean? So, and I'm only 10 fights in, so I just want to triple that nearly more. You know what I mean? Just keep racking them up. And just keep going out there and performing excellent martial arts. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So coming up on November 2nd, your boy is going to be fighting, and you kind of just mentioned that Ireland's still in a weird state. So knowing that you might come out without any bumps or bruises, would getting on that card be on your radar?
I'm 100% on the card. They're not going to come back to my hometown of Dublin, Ireland, and not have me on the card. That's criminal. Do you know what I mean? That's not even a question. Not even allowed to ask me that. I'll be there fighting somebody, whether it's in the cage or outside the cage. I'll be there fighting. I can guarantee that.
And out of all the gyms you could have gone to, what attracted to going to James Krause in Kansas?
My friend James Gallar's been training out there for a while now. He came here about maybe a year ago, and all this COVID shit happened in Ireland. And he's been asking me to come out, and I was gonna go, way sooner. It was just again visa issues and all that kind of stuff. And again, I trust James. You know what I mean? I trust his input, and he's been telling me, like, trust me, come out here. There's some great bodies, great people. James Krause is a great guy, and obviously I'm a fan of James Krause. Before I met him, I seen his fights in the UFC, and I seen him in the corner, and I was like, wow, he's a really good coach. You know what I mean? And as soon as I met him, we started training. It was like I just knew him forever. Do you know what I mean? It was like we just literally trained the first day we met, and we done like 5-5s, grappling and stuff, and he held pads for me, gave me some good advice, and I was like, wow, he's just a good person, he's a good man, and he's a great martial artist. We just hit it off, and he took me into the gym, introduced me to his team, and they were all so humble as well. Humble killers, that's what I was calling them. Do you know what I mean? They're all so nice, very helpful, but they're fucking killers as well. And I learned a lot, to be honest, and it was nice to do that. You know what I mean? Before the fight, I know people were like, oh, it's a bit bogey going to a new gym a couple of weeks before a fight, but to be honest, fighting is basically like, if you look at it from an outside perspective, it's like, I don't know my opponent, and we've never trained together before, and here we are now live fighting each other, and we're just trying to figure each other out in the moment with dire consequences. He's trying to either knock me out, take me down, submit me, and I'm trying to do the same, but we don't know what we're going to throw at each other, so we're trying to figure it out. And when you go to a new gym and you have all these new people, well, that's exactly what it is. They don't know what I'm going to do, I don't know what they're going to, I don't even know if he's a wrestler, if he's going to be a southpaw, but you have to figure it out on the spot. And it was refreshing to do that, training with new people that are at a high level. Do you know what I mean? So it was nice, because normally you get into a routine with your teammates in the gym that know you inside out, and me and James have been training, say, together 9 years. You know what I mean? So when we roll, it's kind of like he knows my go-tos, I know his go-tos, we know each other. They can kind of cancel each other out a little bit. I have to watch out for certain things. I know what he's going to try to do. Likewise, in a new gym, you don't know. You have to be on the ball. You have to be switched on. You have to be ready for anything. And that's what a fight is. So it was nice to do that, you know what I mean? So I got great training out there, yeah.
And one of the fighters from there is Tim Elliott, who recently grappled with Patchy Mix at High Rollers. It's this cannabis-infused tournament. I don't know if that's something that you and your homeboys would ever want to visit or maybe even participate in.
We were there. That's where I met James Krause. So the day before that match, we actually met in the High Rollers gym, and we trained there. But I'd love to do that, yeah. Smoke a few blunts and then smoke a few fouls. That would be nice, yeah. And they pay you to do that as well, grappling, right? They did, no? A pound a weed, that's even better.
How you doing, man? Just want to get your take on the main event, Pitbull versus McKee. How do you see that fight playing out?
Yeah, good fight, yeah. Long time coming. I don't know, to be honest. It's one of them fights, I don't know. I'm normally very like, it can go either way. I don't know. I can see a 5-rounder, to be honest. I can see a 5-rounder and it being close, and I can go either way. That's the way I see it, yeah.
Which Nazim Hamed fight did you end up watching?
Just the highlights, I was watching all of them. It was like a highlight of like all fights throughout the years, you know what I mean? Him, like, he had a mad career, he's mad, you know what I mean? Like when you watch, you forget nearly sometimes how good he was. You're like, fucking the footwork on him and the elusiveness, and how he was just so confident in these fights, and how he just knocked people out with shots that you shouldn't be able to knock people out with. You know what I mean? It's just, he's very impressive. Yeah, I remember I was a fan of him when I was a little kid, and then again you move on, and years later you forget nearly to look back. Pernell Whitaker, same thing. People don't even know who he is when you talk about boxing. When you go back and watch him, he was before Floyd and all this kind of stuff about the defensive boxing and his head movement and his footwork and his traps and his counter punches. And when you watch that, you're like, wow, man, he's under the radar. People don't even know his name, but he's so good. There's so many people like that, you know what I mean, that interest me. And again, as I said, I want to cement my name as one of the best. Do you know what I'm saying? I want people to look back in years to come and be like, study me. Do you know what I mean? Like, wow, he was impressive. That's excellent martial arts. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you mentioned Pernell and Nazim. They're both very like kind of fluid. You know, a lot of hip movement, a lot of footwork. Do you mimic your style like that yourself, or is that, I mean, you're just a fan of that style?
Yeah, no, I'm just a fan of all styles. To be honest, I try to take something from everything. Do you know what I mean? Any style. Like obviously, I grew up on Tyson. Tyson's like my idol. Do you know what I mean? When I was a kid, and he was the number one person for me, and still is. To be honest, I just love Mike Tyson. Do you know what I mean? He's a great fighter, and when I was a kid growing up watching him, it was just like we were all in awe. Do you know what I mean? Of watching his fights, you'd never not be jaw dropped when you're watching him, because you just know. It's like throwing a bleeding human into a lion's den and just like, right, this is going to be mental. You know what I mean? It's going to be crazy. And that was my favorite thing about watching him, just the excitement. And even now you watch his old highlights, it's like hard to believe how he just like walked through people, you know what I mean, at a high level. And the Trevor Berbick fight, you watch that fight and you're just like, shit, like Trevor Berbick was the champion. Mike Tyson was 19 and went in and just dismantled him in one round. It was like, it's hard to believe nearly, do you know what I mean, that he done that. And I always envision myself being like that, you know what I mean, like a destroyer nearly in a fight, you know what I mean, just going in there and this is a fight, this isn't playing here, you know, I'm going in here to kill and this is it, it's me or him, do or die, you know what I mean, it's kill or be killed. And I love that mentality that he had, and obviously his elusiveness for heavyweight and all of that. I take something from everything, you know what I mean, I'm just a fan of fighting in general and martial arts, and I try just watch everything and study everything and take a bit of inspiration from everyone, you know what I mean, so. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Pacquiao's getting on a bit, isn't he, as well? But he still seems to be sharp as fuck. Again, it's another fight that could go either way. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? I mean, obviously, you'd like to see Pacquiao do it because it's Pacquiao. He's a nice guy, but Spence is on that stage now where it's going to be very hard to beat him. He's a beast. He's a beast. You know what I mean? So, again, I don't know. Boxing's a weird one as well. When it goes to decision, who knows what's going to happen, right? It's like, I think it's a bit bogey, all the decisions and stuff these days. But that's something I'm going to be doing as well at this fight, into the professional boxing world, yeah? There's a few people that need a hiding in this boxing world, and I'm definitely going to be jumping in there and dishing out a few hiding. So that's something that interests me big time.
Since we're doing Kiefer Crosbie's boxing pick show right now, how do you see the trilogy fight between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder?
I'd say
that happens on October the 9th.
Tyson Fury, yeah. I'd say he's going to just smoke him, to be honest. Yeah, he's the better boxer. You know, I think so. And I think he's more mentally strong. And yeah, I think he's going to win, to be honest, yeah.
And are you suggesting that you'd like to cross over and do some boxing?
100. I'd love to fight his little sister. You know what I mean? What's her name? Tommy, the fella that plucks his eyebrows. You know what I mean? I asked for that fight already. My management team was on to his management team. I made it quite clear that I'll jump in and fight him if his opponent pulled out, which they did, and nothing got said back. He chose someone else. You know what I mean? I'm just sick of seeing all these donkeys fighting bums and talking shit like they're the best thing and fighting. You know what I mean? We're in here fighting warriors. I'm fighting a guy that's had 40 fights. He's a veteran. I'm fighting guys that are killers. And you see these boxers and they're fighting and 126 people. That's not a joke. Do you know what I mean? That's fact. There's boxers out there that have records of 0 wins and 100 losses, and these boxers are fighting them and claiming they're the next big thing. That's embarrassing, man. That's crazy. So, I mean, I'm gonna jump in here and have a few knocks and boxing myself. Do you know what I mean? It'd be nice to do a boxing camp for once as well. I think it'd be a bit handier than an MMA camp, to be honest. So, can't wait to cross over and give it a go.
All right, thanks for the time, Kiefer. Good luck on Saturday.
Thanks very much, everyone. Yeah, nice one.
The recording has stopped. This meeting is
All right,
being
we are now being
recorded.
joined by Islam Mamedov.
Islam, first fight in Bellator. How does it feel to be here?
Ислам, первый бой в Беллаторе, как ты себя чувствуешь?
Чувствую хорошо, нормально. Хороший лагерь прошел я у себя в Дагестане. Потом после этого приехал сюда за 1,5 месяца. Здесь прошел тоже очень хороший лагерь. Чувствую себя очень прекрасно.
I'm very excited, I'm happy. I did a very great camp. I started in Dagestan. I did 1 month camp in Dagestan. Then I moved to San Jose and I did 1.5 months camp in San Jose. So I feel very great and ready to go.
And you were highly regarded as one of the best lightweights, outside of the UFC, outside of Bellator. You competed in PFL. Why did you end up choosing Bellator to sign with?
Ты считаешься одним из лучших легковесов вне UFC. Почему ты выбрал именно Bellator?
Потому что Bellator мне предложил очень хорошие условия, и мы с командой решили согласиться на эти условия.
Because Bellator gave me an offer I couldn't refuse, so I took it.
Makes sense. And they're giving you really one of their top lightweights right off the bat. Do you think that was the right move for them, giving you a former champion and somebody that's going to position you well at the top of the division?
Для твоего дебюта они тебе дали сразу бывшего чемпиона. Ты считаешь, это хороший ход, хороший бой для тебя? Для дебюта?
Конечно, если хочешь быть лучшим, надо драться тоже с лучшими, я думаю.
Yeah, of course. If you want to be the best, you gotta beat the best. So, of course, I'm happy they gave me the former champ.
And I know he wasn't particularly thrilled with the matchmaking. He was saying, he wanted somebody maybe that was ranked at the top of the division or title shot. Do you think he's underestimating you at all when you hear him say things like that?
Он всю неделю это говорит, что он не совсем доволен, что ему дали тебя дебютанта, он бы хотел подраться с кем-то из топов, чтобы его приблизило это к титульному бою. Что ты можешь сказать по этому поводу?
Ну, это уже его капризы, да, что я могу сказать. Выйдем в клетку, там уже увидим, да, дебютант, как.
I don't know even what to say. It's up to him. He's complaining, so I just need to go there and fight him.
Islam, you have several teammates who have also fought, recently or around this time. You have obviously Makhachev, you have Usman. Just how much does it help having everybody in camp for fights at the same time as you?
У вас очень замечательная команда, Хабиб, Усман, Умар и так далее. Насколько это помогает тебе в подготовке?
Когда тренируешься с лучшими, ты тоже с каждым днем становишься все лучше и лучше. У нас команда, я думаю, лучшая команда в мире. Мы поддерживаем друг друга в любых аспектах, можно сказать. И в тренировочном лагере, и по жизни друг другу помогаем. Лучшая команда в мире, я думаю. Считаю, что у нас лучшая команда в мире.
Yeah, of course, it helps a lot. It helps to improve you because you're always training with the best fighters in the world. There is impossible not to improve. So it helps me in my preparation. Also, it helps me in the fight.
This may seem like an odd question, but both you and Usman compete in the same weight class here in Bellator. Do you guys ever talk about if you have to fight each other as you guys both climb the rankings?
Ты, Усман, деретесь в одной весовой категории. Рассматриваешь ли ты бой с ним в дальнейшем?
Нет, конечно. Усман мне как младший братишка. А с ним никогда не может быть, что... У нас каждый день бой бывает в зале, чем нам выходить в клетку драться, потому что мы каждый день можем в зале подраться тоже. Этого боя никак не может быть.
We're not gonna win. We're fighting every day in the gym. But in the cage, official fight, no, it's not gonna happen. No way. He's like my little brother.
My final question, this is going to be your introduction for a lot of fans, the first time they're going to see you. Is there anything you want fans to know about you before you make your Bellator debut?
Это твой дебют в Беллаторе. Что ты хочешь сказать фанатам, что им следует ожидать?
Хочу сказать, ждите интересное противостояние. Я думаю, будет интересный бой двух борцов.
The only thing I can tell the fans, they can expect the fireworks and the fight. It will be a very exciting fight.
Hi, Islam. Obviously, Khabib Nurmagomedov became very well known here in the UFC. But when you're all coming over here as a group from Dagestan, what does it mean to you to bring your country and your sports to America and let people know about a place we don't know a lot about? Yeah, translate that.
Yeah. Мало людей знали о Дагестане. Вот Хабиб привел, как бы познакомил американскую публику с Дагестаном, с дагестанской культурой. Что ты можешь сказать по этому поводу? Как это, ты гордишься этим, это приятно, что ты представляешь Дагестан и так далее?
Конечно, горжусь Дагестан. Ну, Хабиб сделал все возможное во всем мире. Дагестан стал популярным, и она ассоциируется как Хабиб. Если говорят, все Дагестан вспоминают это. Я думаю, конечно, горжусь.
I'm very proud to represent my home country, my homeland Dagestan. I represent the culture and like to show the world our country, our fighting style and everything. But after Habib, all Habib did, I don't have to do much.
Вы можете приехать тоже в Дагестан, посмотреть все красоты. На видео не так видно эти все красоты, можете посмотреть, приехать.
And I invite all of you to come and visit Dagestan one day.
Well, that was my next question, that how much, with all of you here and all of you being successful, how good would it be one day for all of us to come and see an event in Dagestan?
Он как раз спрашивает про это. Можно ли будет, чтобы они все вот толпой приехали в Дагестан?
Ну, это уже надо будет, конечно, можно, но это надо все обсудить, все сделать, договориться, да, так спонтанно приехать, наверное. Ну, так-то любой человек может приехать, там туристов очень много у нас, а так, если договориться, там уже встретят вас.
Yeah, of course, we can arrange everything, but if you want to come, this big group, we need to arrange something for you guys. But it's not a problem, yeah. Just let us know.
Thanks, thank you.
All right, last one here. Dylan?
Hi there. Thanks for taking my call here. I'm just curious because, just over 12 years unbeaten here for Islam. I'm kind of wondering, what does he credit that level of consistency and longevity to in the sport?
One more time, please.
I'm just saying he's, 12 years unbeaten. I'm wondering what he credits to that consistency and longevity in MMA.
One more time, please.
Oh, sorry. I'm just saying 12 years
Ты непобежденный 12 лет. Что помогает тебе быть непобежденным и побеждать?
Потому что я даже, когда у меня боев что-то не бывает, я постоянно в зале бываю, стабильно тренируюсь, не пропускаю. Дисциплина на первом очереди. Как наш тренер говорил, дисциплина в первую очередь. Чтобы не было, постоянно должен тренироваться, даже если боев нету. И моя команда, я думаю, они поддерживают меня, постоянно помогают, делают все, чтобы я выигрывал бои.
As you said, consistency is the key. So even if I don't have a fight, I have injuries, layovers, I always train like I have a fight, I have to prepare for someone. So, and also I'm training with a team like that. So that's probably the key for my success.
All right. Thank you both for the time. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
The recording has stopped.
Next up is Manny Muro. Next up is Goiti Yamauchi. We are now being joined by Goiti Yamauchi.
This meeting is being recorded.
Goiti, welcome back. Pretty big event, main card slot. How are you feeling coming into this one?
Thank you. Feeling great shape. I think one of the best shapes in my life, and I'm pretty excited to be fighting, again in front of the crowd. So I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, in the last fight, we didn't get the chance to talk to you afterwards and get kind of your thoughts on it, but kind of a controversial decision in many people's eyes. How do you reflect on it? And I'm assuming you think the judges got that one wrong?
Yeah, I felt that I won easy that fight, but it's it is what it is. It happened for a reason, and it's about, for me, it's about to move forward, keep moving forward, move on. It's not the first time, it's not going to be the last time that judges make mistakes in the fight. So I took the lessons from that fight, and I'm trying to move on, and I think I did a great job because I'm here and I'm happy. I'm very excited, ready to put the performance of my life in Saturday night.
Did you find any encouragement? And obviously on social media, a lot of people thought you won, but the rankings too, right? I mean, he beat you on the scorecards, but you stayed above him and you're still in the top 5. So was there any sense of reassurance, so to speak, that you're still a top guy?
Yeah, I mean, makes sense, because I'm happy that people who makes the ranks, they could see that it wasn't fair to put him in front of me in the rankings. So I'm happy and relieved a little bit because I don't care too much about rankings, because I don't know if it really matters when we're making the fights. But to make good fights and big fights for me and for my career, it's important to be in the good position, the ranking. So I'm happy, and I'll climb the rankings Saturday night for sure.
And yeah, right along with what you said, I mean, you're fighting a really tough guy who's unranked in Chris Gonzalez. Can you talk to me a little bit about the matchup? He's obviously a good grappler. Do you think it would be an issue, or a good wrestler, excuse me? Do you think that it would be an issue if he takes you down? Do you think that would be a mistake?
He's a good grappler. Awesome. Yeah. Honestly, I didn't see too much things about him, because there's no much things to looking for about Chris. But the things that I could see, yeah, he's a good fighter, but I think I'll be too much. I will be better than him in any aspect of the fight game. So I'll respect for my opponent, but I think I'm just a better fighter.
I noticed there's several lightweight fights on the undercard. Obviously, the champion of the division is fighting in the main event, although a different weight class. Do you feel like Saturday is a great opportunity to kind of send a message to Pitbull and let him know he's got some work to do and move up again?
Yeah, there's a lot of good matchups in lightweight division. This card was made to lightweight division, I think, because we have featherweight and lightweight champion fighting the same card. We have the former lightweight champion. So we have some top ranked fighters in the lightweight division. So yeah, I think not just me, but I think we will be watching each other Saturday night.
Do you feel like it's reached that point that if Pitbull doesn't move up after the tournament, that it's time for an interim title situation?
Well, honestly, I don't know what's going on, what's going to happen, because honestly, I don't know. I heard about Patricio will let his brother to fight for the title, but the top 5 in the rankings is just a little bit confused. So I think after the July 31 Saturday will there's a lot of things will start to make sense, because it's a little bit confused, the situation of lightweight division.
Out of curiosity, do you think that Pitbull beats AJ, or do you think AJ gets it done?
Well, both incredible fighters. They're good fighters, good heart, good technique. But I think the experience of the Patricio Pitbull will, I don't think maybe, not it's not just my opinion. Everything can happen in a fight game. But I think Patricio Pitbull will finish the fight. But AJ can surprise all of us, because his stuff is good. But my prediction, my predictions is always terrible. But I think it's Patricio. He's gonna get this one.
Final question from me. Just how big is it for you to get that big victory in front of the Forum and those LA fans?
Well, it will be massive. I can't wait. Because not just because I'm fighting in front of the whole crowd of Los Angeles, but I'm just a new fighter. Not just a new fighter. I'm a new person now, and I have a lot to prove. I have a lot to achieve in my career. So it means a lot. Every step in my career just it means a lot to me, and I can't wait for Saturday. I just want to show the fans how much I had improved in my game.
I've been asking all the fighters about the big sports news right now, which is Simone Biles pulling out of the Olympics due to mental health issues. I'm curious if you have an opinion on that, if you think that was the right decision, or if you've ever been in a situation where you felt like maybe you couldn't do your job due to mental health issues.
Well, that's it's a hard thing to say, because I can see a lot of people going through this kind of problems, and a lot of people, close in my circle. I could see a lot of people suffering because of it. So it's not. But I think everybody can overcome this kind of problem. It's all about knowing yourself. Start to accept the channels of the life. So I think this is people it's getting usual, people getting this kind of thing. So it's better people start to do something about it. And I think asking for help, it's one of the best things they can do.
Thank you.
Based upon the results of your last fight, do you really feel you have something to prove to yourself, your fans, and how do you intend to do that?
well, doing my best, just give everything that I have. I will leave everything that I have in that cage Saturday night.
I spoke to Chris. He says if you put him in a body triangle, then he'll be right where he wants to be. How are you gonna implement your submission game?
Well-
Obviously, you're able to get the back. You're able to get rear naked choke through, omoplata, Kimura traps. No one can stop you. They try to fight grab the gloves.
Yeah.
You see the rear naked choke anyway. What do you have to say to Chris?
Well, Chris, you better be prepared. I think if I was in his position, I think I would do the same. I would talk this kind of shit. But I don't believe that. When a fight starts, my experience, my techniques, my grappling pedigrees will be too much for him. We'll see. We'll see. I don't like to talk too much. I just I want to see what he has to bring.
All right. Thanks for the time, Goichi. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you so much, guys.
The recording has stopped.
Next up is Brent Primus.
This meeting is being recorded.
All right. We are now being joined by Brent Primus.
Brent, welcome back. It's been quite a while since we've seen you. A little long overdue here.
Yeah, way long overdue for sure.
And I guess what do you attribute that layoff to? Was it just, I know you had a couple of fights on the rumor mill and a couple that were booked that fell out. Was it just cancellations or injuries, or why didn't we see you for that long?
Cancellations, COVID. I fought in Ireland in February, and I asked to fight as soon as possible, and they said the soonest they could get me a fight was July, and so I trained my butt off, lost 30 pounds, and got canceled from COVID like 10 days out. And then I got told I was going to fight in December. Same thing, went through a full training camp, lost a bunch of weight, and spent a bunch of money on my camp, and that fight didn't happen. And thankfully, here we are, fight week, and I fight in a few days.
And is it tough? You're on a 2-fight winning streak. Is it tough to keep that momentum? Whether it's mental or just keeping your rhythm in the gym when you're not staying active. You're not getting to those fight nights.
Yeah, I want to stay active, but winning is a part of me. I feel like I train my butt off, and I expect nothing but to win. So, but activity is definitely a big thing, man. I want to stay active, and after this fight, I'm gonna call out Patricio. I want to. If I don't fight him, I want to top 5, but I want Patricio. That's the guy I want. He's got my belt, so that's the plan.
For sure. And one of the other things about the inactivity was that you fell out of the rankings, and I know that you weren't particularly happy with that. And at the time, you said, "Hey, when I come back, I want a top 5 guy, despite the fact that I'm not ranked. I want a title shot." And here you are fighting a 19-1 guy that's not ranked. Ultimately, were you okay with that? Was
no, hell no. I was not okay with this. No, I was told that if I signed a new contract with Bellator, that I'd be fighting a top 10, and here we are, not fighting a top 10. I know Islam's a tough dude, and he probably should be in the top 10, but I feel like he should have fought in somebody in Bellator before me. And man, it's just frustrating that I have to Google these guys who I'm fighting. It's like I should be fighting somebody that I know that's fought in Bellator who's in the top 10. And but at the same time, I'm just blessed that I have a fight, and I'm here, and I'm fighting a few days.
And I heard you say it a minute ago, but do you think despite Mamedov not being ranked, that this will set you up, you'll get that title shot and be able to fight Patricio?
It better. It better, man. Like, he's 19 fight win streak right now, and he's training Khabib, and he's a tough dude, man, for sure. And so Patricio is who I have my eyes on for sure.
Hey, Brent, what's it been like to hear guys, while you've been out, kind of calling you out, Tricky, Alexander Shevly? I mean, obviously they were saying, hey, I want Brent, and I want it to be for a piece of gold because Patricio's been out of the lightweight division for a while.
Yeah, those are smart guys, man. They should be fighting me for the gold. And I'm not sure about Shabli. I think he's only had 1 fight in Bellator, but I was calling out any top 5 guy. I asked Bellator to set me up with Patricky. After he lost to Queally, I called my manager right away. I was like, man, I want to fight that Queally guy. And it didn't happen, which is a big bummer. And they said those fights don't make sense. We want you to fight this guy, Islam or whatever. And I was like, how the hell does that make sense? But yeah, it is what it is, man. And like I said, man, I'm going to try to make a statement this Saturday. I'm going to finish this dude, and I'm going to call out Patricio.
Do you think Patricio gets the job done against AJ on Saturday?
I really hope so. I just did an interview, and they said that if AJ beats Patricio, that they might fight at 155 for the 155 strap, do a rematch. I was like, what? Oh man, it's so frustrating. I think the belt has already been held up too long, and it's just frustrating that better not happen. So I'm definitely rooting for Patricio.
Is it safe to say that something needs to happen with the title if Patricio, for whatever reason, doesn't fight again, but doesn't go back up to 155 because of how long it's been out?
Yes, for sure. I think it's already been too long, and all of us in the top 10 or all of us in the 155 division, I feel like we deserve to get that belt or at least a shot at it. And I mean, I heard him saying he doesn't, or Scott Coker doesn't want to do a interim title fight or whatever. So, but I think that if it's the belt's still staying with Patricio or whatever, then I think that, yeah, they should either give it up or there should be an interim belt for sure.
Final question. You're fighting, this Bellator's first time in front of this kind of capacity crowd in a while. Just what are your thoughts on knowing that you're going to have that packed house at the Forum to cheer on all the action?
Man, I cannot wait. As bad as I wanted to fight and stay active, in the whole COVID thing in Connecticut, there's nothing like fighting in front of fans and the crowd, the energy. So I'm pumped, man. And I've never fought in the Forum, but I heard it's a crazy event. It's loud and a lot of energy there. And I'm excited. It's going to be awesome.
I've been asking all the fighters about the big sports news, which is Simone Biles pulling out of the Olympics due to mental health issues. I'm curious if you have a take on that, if you've ever been in that position, or as a professional athlete, if you can understand maybe that kind of pressure.
Man, I can see it going both ways. Like, I'm a mental case myself, man. I'm always, doubting myself, doing things mentally. And I feel like she has such a big opportunity. She was literally picked, out of a lot of people to represent the United States. And It's a big bummer. You know, I don't know what's going on in her head, but I feel like she should have pulled through, manned up, and got a mental coach, did whatever she could, and done that, because there's thousands of people that would have loved to be in her place. So, but yeah, I think she it's a hard thing for sure, you know. But for me, I just feel like, man up and go out there and perform and for our country, you know. So, but it is what it is.
With all that's happened over the past year with fighting, things falling out, how do you maintain your focus and stay hungry?
Oh man, I think just, you know, it helps having a family, having kids, and knowing that I need to put money in the bank and put food on the table. And but at the same time, like, I've had a crazy life, and you know, I've had people doubt me, people kind of like father figures telling me, you know, I'm gonna work at McDonald's my whole life, I'm a loser, all this stuff. And you know, I got kicked out of my house when I was 13 and did some crazy things, and ever since then I just kind of wanted to prove him and everybody wrong, and make something of myself. And there's no quitting me. I literally train harder than anybody that I know, and I don't think there's anybody in Bellator, in the lightweight division or Bellator period, that trains as hard as me and can go places mentally like I can.
Man, Brent, kicked out of your house at 13, worked at McDonald's.
No, I did not work at McDonald's. My stepdad told me I was going to work at McDonald's, and when I got kicked out, I literally filled out so many applications, and I sent them into everywhere I could besides McDonald's. And I was too young to get a job. I was 13, so I started picking berries on the farms, and really couldn't make much money doing that. And found some hippie dude who started fronting me marijuana, and I started slinging the best marijuana in Oregon when I was super young. Had my own house when I was 14 years old. I had my own house, and it was crazy, man. A lot of crazy stories.
Well, good thing it's legal now.
Yeah, thank God.
And then you got your black belt under Megaton, right?
Yeah.
Is that how you're going to stop the armbar? I mean, this guy's got like 7 armbars. I think his last fight was a knee bar. How do you shut that down?
Oh man, I really am not worried about getting submitted. I feel my ground game is, man, it's awesome. So I'm not really worried about that. I think he needs to be worried about getting armbarred by me.
So kicked out of the house at 13, but look at you now. You're in LA, first time back, full capacity crowd, $1 million fight, championship fight. Is this your breakout time? Is this your moment?
Yeah, man, I think every fight is your biggest fight at the time, you know, but I feel like I need to make a statement and go out there and finish this guy so I can, you know, get that title shot.
Brent, I know you mentioned the fact that you wanted to fight a top 5 guy, but obviously, you know, Islam is coming in here with an 18 fight winning streak. So how do you prepare for a guy like that that's coming in with, you know, all that motivation?
Just keep my head focused and rely on my coaches and listen to them and train my butt off, which I have been doing. And I feel great. My weight is good. And I feel great. I really do not see myself. I see myself finishing this guy for sure.
Thank you.
All right, Brent, thanks for the time. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you, guys.
The recording has stopped.
Up next is Usman Nurmagomedov. Usman will be joining us in just a moment.
Ты что, там будешь, что ли? This meeting is being recorded.
We are now being joined by Usman Nurmagomedov.
Usman, welcome back. Second Bellator fight. How excited are you to be here and just a couple days away from your return?
Усман, у тебя уже второй бой в Беллаторе. Что ты можешь сказать? Как ты себя чувствуешь?
Hi guys, hi everyone. Чувствую себя очень хорошо. Уже начинаю чуть-чуть привыкать к этим всем камерам, к этому большому шоу. В целом все хорошо. Спасибо.
Everything is fine. I feel great. I'm happy to be here for my second Bellator fight. I'm still getting used to it for all these cameras, all these interviews, but it's fine. Everything's fine.
And do you like that sort of attention, the eyeballs on you? Like when you step in the cage on Saturday, it's going to be a lot different than the last time you fought. There's going to be a full arena of fans. Are you somebody that feeds off that? Do you read into it at all? Do you like it?
Тебе вообще нравится вот это все внимание и так далее? Ты когда сейчас будешь делать второй бой в Беллаторе, это будет совсем по-другому уже с фанатами, полная арена.
Знаешь, чуть-чуть скучаю тоже по фанатам, потому что это же все для них. Да, нравится, но иногда чуть-чуть давит тоже. Но придется привыкать. В целом все хорошо.
It's a big part of the game, so I have to get too used to it. It's giving me a little pressure, but that's fine. And about the fight, yeah, of course, I missed the fans because we're fighting for the fans. It's all about the fans. So I'm very excited to fight with the crowd.
And do you think just, your rise to the position you are now, you were surrounded by so many top tier, big name fighters, your cousin Habib. Do you think just being around them has made you acclimate to that sort of attention quicker?
Ты находишься каждый день с топовыми бойцами, со знаменитостями, можно так сказать, с Хабибом и так далее, у которых тоже очень много внимания. Ты думаешь, это помогло тебе быстрее привыкнуть к камерам и так далее?
Да, скорее всего.
Yeah, might be, yeah.
Usman, I was wondering just who do you think is going to win between Pitbull and AJ McKee?
Твое мнение, кто победит в главном бою?
60-40 AJ McKee.
60-40 AJ.
And then secondly, just obviously a lot of teammates in camp at the same time. Islam Makhachev, Islam Mamedov, your cousin before he got hurt, I believe. Just how much does it help having everybody getting ready for a fight at the same time as you?
Два твоих товарища по команде тоже будут выступать в субботу, Хаджи и Ислам. Как это помогает? Это помогает тебе, помогает вам в общем как-то готовиться вместе?
Да, мы этот лагерь прошли вместе с Абубакром, Исламом Махачевым, Хабиб приехал, Мамедов. Мы все за 2 месяца приехали в АК и начали тренировочный сбор. Правда, пару ребят получили травму, но Ислам вышел, показал, насколько он был готов, насколько он хорош. И теперь, спустя 2 недели, мы готовы тоже выйти в этот октагон и показать, на что мы способны.
Yeah, of course, it helps a lot. It motivates you. We came to US like 2 months before the fight. We did a great camp. Unfortunately, a couple of the guys got injured and their fights got cancelled. But for example, Islam fought and he performed well and he got a victory. And when you see your teammate got a victory, got a great fight, it motivates you. So now 2 weeks later, we are ready, 3 of us, to put on the show.
I know that from a young age, you've probably been training, so you always wanted to be a fighter. If you were not fighting MMA, though, have you thought about what your career might be or what job you might have wanted to have?
Несмотря на то, что ты тренируешься всю жизнь и занимаешься ММА всю жизнь, и окружение твое также, думал ли ты о какой-то другой профессии? Вот если бы не стал бы ты бойцом ММА, кем бы ты хотел быть?
Ну, я не знаю. Может, работал бы, занимался бы сельским хозяйством, помогал бы родителям. Но точно не бездельничал бы.
I don't know. It's a tough question. I don't know what exactly I would do, but probably I will have some farm or something like something like that, and help my parents. I wouldn't be like unemployed for sure.
Usman, right here. How is Khabib different in the gym now being Coach Khabib compared to being Fighter Khabib?
Как Хабиб сейчас отличается в зале? То, что он сейчас не боец, а тренер.
Ну, тренер, он пожестче, чем боец.
He's now more tougher. Coach Khabib much tougher than Fighter Khabib.
Is he nicer to be around now that he's not making weight, or that's even worse now that he's a coach? It sounds like.
One more time.
What is he nicer to be around now that he's not making weight for a fight, or is it sounds like he's tougher as the trainer?
Он говорит, почему он жесткий, потому что ты боишься, ты, может, вес не сделаешь или еще что-то?
Нет, он просто заставляет выкладываться всех ребят полностью, чтобы, когда они зашли в ринг, чтобы они были готовы ко всему.
No, the thing is, Habib coach not training right now, so he came to the gym only to push us. So that's why it's very tough for us.
Usman, good afternoon.
Hi.
Hi. So let's say one of these two was injured this week. Yeah?
Mhm.
Would you be ready? Are you ready to fight either of these right now?
Which one you mean?
Either of them.
Если кто-то из них получит травму в главном бою, ты будешь готов заменить кого-то? Если тебе предложат.
No,
Why not?
because he's small, guys. It's not my division.
He's going to go up to lightweight. He's going to fight a lightweight. He's the champion at lightweight.
But he do only one fight. And what?
He means naturally they're like featherweights. That's what he meant. He's
Подожди,
smaller
подожди.
guys than them.
У Питбуля с 2020 или с 2012 только один бой в Bellator, и он подрался только с Чендлером. В моем весе очень много, достаточно ребят, с кем он мог бы подраться, но он дерется в Гран-при, у него какие-то свои дела, а дивизион стоит. Я не знаю, он только сделал один бой, он не проверен другими легковесами.
So Chandler fought only once in my division, lightweight division, and he fought Pitbull fought only once in the lightweight division, and he fought Chandler. He didn't fought any other guys, and I believe we have much more tougher guys in lightweight division. So that's why I don't think he belongs to lightweight.
So you win on Saturday night. Are you near to challenging for the belt then, is what I'm asking?
Ты собираешься в дальнейшем драться за титул?
Of course. Знаете, дело в том, что сегодня мне 23 года, и у меня есть желание, амбиции подраться за этот титул, но 23 года это еще не как вам сказать, не 30. В 30 человек бывает совсем другим, физически, психологически, и я думаю, я приду к этому года через 2-3, но пока не будем спешить. Будем драться, делать бои и стараться выигрывать все те бои, которые нам дают.
Yeah, definitely. I will fight for the Bellator title eventually, but with time, because I'm just 23 years old. I have a lot of room to grow, and like I'm still like growing. So I gotta do it by step by step. But eventually, yeah, for sure, I will fight for the title.
Do you think you have? I mean, speaking to people like Javier Mendez and different people around you, that because you seem to have very good striking as well as the wrestling, traditional wrestling that Dagestanis seem to have before they can walk. Do you feel that you bring more than perhaps Khabib ever brought to the sport at this age?
Он говорит, ты чуть отличаешься даже от своего брата Хабиба, от других бойцов с Дагестана. Ты больше ударник, чем борец. Ты думаешь, это ты приносишь новый стиль дагестанского ММА?
Я думаю, у школы Абдуманапа Нурмагомедова есть бойцы не только, которые борются все время. Мы умеем еще и драться в стойке, мы умеем бороться, мы умеем все.
Like me and other fighters from our school, my uncle's school of Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov fighting school, we can do anything. We can wrestle, we can strike, we can do whatever. But some people just prefer to wrestle, some people prefer to strike. So I wouldn't say I'm like bringing something new.
Thank you.
With your talents in Muay Thai and Sambo, are you Khabib 2.0? I mean, with him in your corner, with the honor of your country and everything, undefeated. Javier says you're the most talented students he's had.
Ты считаешь себя в лучшей версии Хабиба, Хабиб 2, так скажем. Потому что Хавьер говорит, что ты очень талантливый, ты один из лучших бойцов, с которым он либо работал, и ты также непобедимый.
Знаете, мне все говорят, ты талантлив, а он здесь работает так. Но когда тебе все время это говорят, это может тебя расслабить немного. На таланте далеко не уедешь, нужно еще соблюдать дисциплину и тяжелый труд. Если это все не соединить в одно целое, то на таланте ты можешь выиграть пару боев. Не знаю. Я думаю, что Я бы не сказал, что я обновленная или какая-то лучшая версия Хабиба. Ну, хотя бы чуть-чуть добраться к его статусу можно было бы.
To be honest, it's hard for me to compare myself to Habib. Obviously, I would like to be like a little like same as him, because he's a great fighter. He did a lot for the sports, and I'm too far away from that. And pretty much that's it.